Hey guys, Jennifer from Scrapping Under the Influence. Today we are going to do the first of my August design team projects using Simple Stories, Sunshine and Blue Skies. Today we are going to do a very small, kind of almost a brag book, using just the 3x4 snap cards out of the snap pack from Simple Stories. If you're not familiar with these, the snap packs come with 8 double-sided 4x6s, 16 3x4s, 8 4x4s, and 16 2x2. All of them are double-sided. All of them match any of their collections. They're really intended to go in Simple Stories, their snap albums, where you can just kind of tuck these in and put your pictures in and be able to scrapbook very, very quickly, which are nice, but maybe that's not what you want to do. So I have come up with a project that is going to be super simple. We're going to use just the 3x4 pieces out of this, the rest of this, and some of the 2x2s. The rest of this we will hang on to use in another project here in a week or so. I'm going to set this aside for now. And then what I'm doing as well that's kind of different. Normally I would use the artisan cardstock to wrap my project. In this case, I'm using the My Colors cardstock, which you can get from Country Craft Creations. It's there in Tammy's shop. That's where I got this from. And what I did is I just matched this to the colors that are in the collection. So what I used, if you wanted to do the same thing, the ones that I found matched the best were the My Colors Sky, Poolside, Loveable, Desert Cactus, Fireflies, and what is this one? Yellow Corn. Okay. I'm actually going to set these aside for right now. We're going to cover the outside of our album with the Yellow Corn, which is the lighter of the two yellows. I've been having some camera issues, which apparently I've updated and rebooted, and it seems to be okay now, so fingers crossed, because I've already made 3 of these covers at this point. I am not going to make a 4th one. This one is mostly ready to go. I'm going to give you measurements, kind of show you what we did, but I'm not going to remake this because it's getting crazy at this point. So for the cover, you need 2 pieces of chipboard that are 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. You need 2 pieces for your spines that are 4 1/4 by 1 inch, and then 1 piece that's going to be kind of our little closure piece that's going to be 4 1/4 by 1 1/4. You should be able to get all of these out of either scraps of chipboard that you may have on hand. I have a whole bunch of like not quite half sheets of chipboard that are, you know, like 5 by 12 or 5.5 by 12 that I just cut those down, and then trim them down, you know, cut it down to 4 1/4, and then just, you know, cut these pieces one right after the other out of that. To wrap this, you're going to take a sheet of your 12 by 12, you're going to cut it to, you're going to leave it 12 inches wide, you're going to cut it to 6 1/4 high. As you know, I like to score it 1 inch in on the top and the bottom just to help line up my chipboard better. You're not going to have a quite, it's going to be about 1/2 inch on each end to wrap over, but your top and bottom you're still going to have your full inch. Okay, so you're going to cut that, and then the other half of this piece you're going to cut down to 10 7/8 by 4 1/8, and that's going to be our little piece to cover the inside of our book. Okay, so you're going to put these down like you always do. You're going to leave a 1/4 inch space in between all of the pieces. Wrap it like you would a normal book. If you're unsure how to do this, or if this is your first time, there are a bunch of tutorials on there on how to do this, and I will probably like take these pieces and just some other scraps of chipboard, and I'll actually put how to wrap this at the end of the thing. Actually, you know what? No, we can do it now. I'm just not going to use this cardstock. I'm just going to find some other cardstock here somewhere. just in case you're new to this and you haven't done it before, we'll go ahead and wrap it. It's okay. So 6 1/4 by 12. I like I said, and this is a simple enough project. This will be like a really good beginner project if you're new to this. I do like to score these at 1 inch on each end. This helps me line up my chipboard evenly across so that when I go to wrap my book, everything's where it needs to be. Normally I would use score tape on the back of this. You can glue it, it's entirely up to you. We're going to glue this just to make it a little bit faster and to not use any more score tape because, like I said, this is the 4th one of these I've done today. Just having a horrible time. Okay, so we put our first piece down. Then I would take my 1/4 inch score tape and I'm going to run it in here right up against this. I'm not going to do it this time unless I can find some other. Oh, there it is. So this is another brand. I honestly don't even remember what kind it was. I think it came with something else, like a kit that I'd ordered somewhere along the line. So we'll just go ahead and use it. So you're going to put that there. Take one of your 1 inch spine pieces. You're going to put it down here just like this. We're going to do another 1/4 inch piece there. We're going to do our next 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. You're going to line that up there. I'm going to do another piece of the score tape. I'm just going to put that out of the way. And we're going to do another, the next 1 inch piece. And if you want to use lighter chipboard than the normal, you know, heavier chipboard that we typically would use for a mini album, you can absolutely do that. If you wanted to use even cereal boxes, something that light, you could do that. Just because this is such a small book, it's not gonna matter if you're using lighter weight chipboard. It will still work just fine. Honestly, I probably could have taken, you know, if you had like 110-pound cardstock, you could almost do it with that without any chipboard in here, but I think the chipboard makes it a little bit more sturdy. So we're gonna trim our corners. And normally I would just like trim across like this, but because, you know, our sides here are 2 different sizes, I don't want to do that because it just kind of makes it come out kind of wonky when you go to wrap. So I'm doing this closer to how I typically will do pocket covers, okay? And we're doing that to reduce the bulk and so that our corners fold in neatly like this, okay? So I'm going to run my glue around here. We're gonna fold, no, before I do that, where's my thing? You want to pull the backing off of this tape that you're using to keep your hinges spaced evenly. You want to go ahead and pull that off because having that in there actually does help your Gusset Hider kind of go down in there and get down in those hinges and look nice. And now you'll notice this is not folding well because this is, I don't know, I think this is probably American Crafts cardstock and it's just not the best. But I have it on hand for other random things when I need colored cardstock, usually too. Yeah, because see how it's cracking. just to like matte pictures and things like that. So my colors, as you can tell, did not crack, which is awesome. Normally I stick with the Artisan for that very reason. It does not crack. You see how that's cracking? But since this is just for demonstration purposes as far as how to wrap your chipboard, it's okay because we're not actually going to use this one. We're going to use the good one. Oops. Okay. I'm going to fold our edges in, and if you are using glue, you are going to have to do this a little bit slower because, you know, you want it to actually stick down. If you're using tape, then of course it sticks immediately and it's not a problem. Okay. So this is how you would wrap your book. Once your book is wrapped, we're going back to our real book now. I'm just using my bone folder. I'm working the paper down into those hinge points so that it's good and in there. And then I'm going to take our Gusset Hider. Now the Gusset Hider is 4 1/8 high, and I've got it 10 7/8 wide. You may need to cut a little bit off the ends. You may need to cut a little bit more off the top, just depending on your book. So before you actually go to stick it down, kind of dry fit it. Make sure it's lining up. You don't have anything hanging out over the top or on the sides, and you'll be fine. I did actually have to cut about 1/4 inch off the end of this, and that's fine. And now would be the time too to decide how you wanted to close this. If we wanted magnets to close this, I would go ahead and put the magnet on this piece right here on this little flap. I would go ahead and put it now on here and then out on here, because this piece we're going to cover with one of these little cut aparts. I'm not cut aparts, these little 3x4 cards. That inside piece, I'm not sure what we're going to put on here. We're probably ultimately, like, to cover up all these little hinges, we'll take like the back side of one of these and just trim these down and mat those. But you're going to want to put that magnet down just in case we don't, so that it's hidden underneath there. The other thing you could do, and I had kind of debated about this and then decided I didn't want to, is you could take brads. So the brads that I was sent with my design team package this time are actually not Simple Stories. These are Echo Park Best Summer Ever, but they match perfectly with this collection. In fact, you know, until I actually like took a second look at it, I thought they were the Simple Stories. I didn't realize that this was a totally separate collection, but it matched really well. It's perfect with it. So the other thing you could do would be to do brads here and do like a little tie closure, in which case you would want to go ahead and punch your holes now for your brads so that they're there, and then perhaps, you know, go ahead and mat this side and this side so that you can put your brads down, get them closed out, and then cover that up with your matting right here, or your Gusset Hider. I think I'm actually just going to use, I've got a whole bunch of really pretty seam binding that came in my design team package, and I think that's what I'm going to use. In fact, I might use, I've got this really pretty like white polka dot ribbon. I'm going to use 1 or 2 of these. I'm not sure what I'm going to use there, but I'm going to do a tie closure on this one. So I'm not going to put a magnet in here. I'm not going to, you know, put some brads in here. We're just going to go ahead and cover the inside of this up. So I've got my Gusset Hider. I actually do have score tape on the back of this. This is from one of the 8.5 by 11 sheets of score tape that are available at Country Craft Creations. They're awesome. They work really, really well for things like this where you do want good coverage. I mean, if you start using these to build bases of your books, seriously, like, they'll go together so seamlessly, I can't even tell you. It's crazy. So what I'm going to do, I've got it pulled back partially on one end. I'm going to line this up back over here. Make sure I've got it lined up where I want it. And come down to this end. I'm going to push down this end where I just pulled some of that back. And then just slowly peel that out. And then burnish it down. Okay. And then we'll go back in again with our bone folder and work that down into those creases on all of our hinge points here. Okay. Do it on this side as well. Just get that good and worked in there. And then we can fold our book closed. Kind of work those hinges a little bit so that they close the way you want them to. And there's our base. Now for our pages. I'm telling you, you're just going to die at how simple this is and how easy this would be to make, you know, for a craft fair if you wanted to, for really pretty much, you know, like little gifts, you know, for grandparents or, you know, whatever. We're going to have 4 pages inside. So now I'm going to decide which colors, I don't think I'm going to use that one, which colors I want for my inside pages. So for my inside pages, these are going to be, let me look at my notes, 4 1/8 by 9 5/8. Okay, so 4 1/8 by 9 5/8. Okay. So, make sure I'm not getting that little sticker on the back here, just because I don't want to sit and peel them off. So we're going to make sure we're using the end that doesn't have the sticker. So 4 1/8, 9 5/8. One more time, 4 1/8. By 9 5/8. Okay. Slide that out of the way. I'm going to grab the scoreboard again. So each one of these, you are going to score. You're going to put your 9 5/8 side at the top. How am I doing? Okay. You're going to score these at 3 1/8, 6 1/4, and then 9 3/8. Okay. All right. So what's going to happen? You've got this little 1/4 inch flap at the end, because this isn't getting a ton of embellishment. You're just basically going to have pictures, journaling, that kind of thing in here. It doesn't need to be like we're doing this more as you would maybe put a flap on a page instead of doing like a hinge in here, because we don't really need it, because this is going to be, you know, there's not going to be a lot on these where they need that extra strength. Okay. So again, 3 1/8, 6 1/4, 9 3/8. Okay. 3 1/8, 6 1/4, 9 3/8, and one last time. 3 1/8, 6 1/4, 9 3/8. Okay. All right. So these are going to fold as follows. You're going to turn it over so your bumpy side from your scoring is on top. You're going to fold that little hinge piece over. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to decide what order we want our colors to go in. So I think I'm going to go just like that, and they're going to go in our book. Okay, these are going to go, we're going to put these down just like this. We're going to do it before we fold the rest of this, just because I think that's going to be a little bit easier. And I'm actually going to use, no, I think I'm going to glue them, because if I glue them, then that's going to give me an extra minute or two to work with these. So I'm going to get some glue on there, and then I'm actually just going to use my finger and kind of spread it out so it goes edge to edge. That's not something you typically will see me do on an album. That's something I would do typically more on like a 3D project. But that's just going to help us kind of get better coverage as far as how we're getting our book put together. Okay, so we're going to push that down. You're going to fold it all the way over, burnish it down, and then we're going to do this just like you would do a waterfall. So then we're going to push the next one right up against the back of that. Fold it over, next one, next one. I've got 4 pages in this right now. We might be able to get a 5th. I don't think so, but the other nice thing about doing this one this way is you absolutely could expand this. You wanted this to be a little thicker, you wanted a few more little pages in here. By all means, all you have to do is just increase the size of those spines. Okay, do it again. Okay. Push that down, and I've got one more. Okay. All right. Put that down, make sure everything's lined up. Over just a little bit, came up on me. All right, so there's all of our pages, and then all we're going to do is we're going to fold again in towards that bump and then out. So each of these little pages is going to be kind of an accordion. Okay, so we're going in and then out. And our little 1/4 inch there is more than enough space for these to come in here and they're going to sit in there just perfectly. Okay. So I am going to burnish those down like so. Okay. And there we go. One more. Okay, so there's our little pages. The only thing we have left to do is we're going to put 2 tiny pockets on here. The pieces for our pockets are going to be 4 1/8 by 2 1/2. So what we should be able to do is we should have, and let me just double check that I did this right when I was designing this. Okay, so that's one of our scraps from the ends of one of these pages, and that one is 4 1/8, and it is 2 3/8, but that's okay, we will make it work. So I'm just going to pick, I think I'm going to do that one, and I'm going to do that one. These don't need to be big pockets by any means. So what we're going to do is we're going to score 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and then we're going to score at 3/8. Okay, so with the 4 1/8 at the top, turn that over some. Okay, we're going to do 1/2 inch, turn it all the way around, 1/2 inch. So you're doing 1/2 inch on that 4 1/8 side. Turn it to the 2 3/8 side. You're going to score it at 3/8 instead of 1/2 inch. Okay. This way, you're not wasting a whole bunch of paper. You're getting. Where's my scissors? Okay. And we're going to have. It's going to be a really cute little pocket. Okay, we're going to trim our corners. Like you normally would when doing any kind of pocket like this. Score that one right. That one doesn't look right. Okay, 1/2 inch. I didn't score that one right. I thought it looked funny. I was not imagining it. It does look funny. It's wrong. There we go. Did I do that one right? Yeah, that one's okay. Weird. Okay. It's been a long week. I was in Virginia for work all week and got home late Friday night, and I'm still kind of loopy, so. But that's okay. We'll get this all done. And nobody will know the difference. Okay, so you're just going to fold like you normally would for a pocket. Okay. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to use 1/4 inch score tape on the bottom. Go ahead and put it on this one before I trim it. It won't matter. And then I'm going to use 3/8. To make sure. So when I open new score tape, just because I've got several sizes, I always just take and like write on the inside there what size it is, so that I'm not having to constantly grab the ruler and measure it and, you know, make sure I grab the right size. That way I can just look and it's there. But of course you could always glue these as well. It's up to you. Oh, don't do that. All right, so let's trim this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and fold and burnish, and fold and burnish. Fold and burnish, just like normal. Get my little tool that I use to pull my tape backing. In case you're wondering, this is a pen blade. It's a very old pen blade. It's very, very dull, but it works. It's just like the perfect size to get the backing off a score tape. So, all right, we're just going to put that right down in here. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Burnish. And that's going to go on the back. that up there. Get that down. All right. So now we are ready to decorate. But before we decorate, I'm going to run some seam binding around this. I think we're going to use this. Use this pretty pink and this light blue. And I think that's what we're going to use. And all of these seam bindings and ribbons and things are also available by the yard from Country Craft Creations. I don't know, I kind of like the idea of it being this big ribbon. Okay, I'm going to use the big ribbon. And hopefully have enough data for my other projects, because I really like that. I just think that looks really neat. And I think having that big ribbon on this little book is just going to be kind of cool. I think it's going to have a nice impact. All right, so kind of figure out where we need it to be to tie. And you probably have noticed I don't use a lot of ribbon. It's because I am very, very much bow challenged. I am not good at tying them, and I never have been. So I don't use it very often for that very reason. Okay, I think we need to pull it just a tiny bit more that way. All right, so what I'm going to do to secure it on this side, I'm going to just take, it's a little bit long, I'm going to take some score tape, I'm going to kind of center it up here, since we're going to mat and it's not going to matter. I'm going to get that on there. That way I can kind of get my ribbon about where it needs to be to tie it very neatly in a bow in the center of the book. I think that's about right. Center that up. I'm going to go ahead and pull this backing off the tape. I'm going to pull this up and around and just push that down. And then, because it is attached on one side, we can go ahead and do the same thing on the back here. And I'm just going to take another couple of pieces of score tape. This is just going to keep our ribbon from moving. You're not going to see it, but it's going to hold it secure so we can have it in place when we go to start matting our little book. Again, that one too long. That's okay. All right, so now I can just get the backing off of here, maybe. Carefully wrap this around. And then do the same thing on the end here. What have I done? Did I get two pieces of it? Oh my gosh, what did I do? Was it wrapped funny? Ah! No! It's okay. We'll make this work. We're going to bury the other half of that underneath there. Since it's getting attached on this other side anyway and it's all getting matted over, it will be fine. I don't know what I just did there, but that was weird. Okay. Alright, so we're matted, or not matted. We've got our ribbon. We're good. So I'm going to put this back in this bag. This back off to the side. I still haven't found my stuff that came with my Neverland paper for the design team. I don't know what I've done with it. It's gonna just magically appear in like 2 months, and I'll be like, where did this come from? Okay, so now we can start looking at our 3x4 cards, figuring out what we want to mat. Let's slide this whole thing out of here. I'm going to open these up. And this is nice because they are double-sided. So you've got your front piece where, you know, you've got your cute little sayings or images or whatever. Like, that's a great journaling spot. But on the back side, you've got scaled down patterns. Like, look how cute those little pool people are. You've got scaled down patterns of the papers that are in this collection. And Tammy does have the 12 by 12 of this. My next project, I actually have the 6 by 8 pads that Simple Stories does, once again, that fit in the pages on their Snap albums. And we're going to see what we can do with just those. Now let's pull out these little ones as well. Okay, so we just need to decide what's going to go where. So let's kind of just lay these out, see what we've got. Like, for sure we're going to want to use that one in there somewhere. Okay. We've got this. We've got that little Life is Better in Flip-Flops, but it's got a really nice floral on the back. Okay, so what we need is we need something to mat on the front and on the back. So we could do something like this that's going to get matted on the back. We could flip it over and use that side that's got where it says summer and, you know, the kind of graduating colors. We could use this little I Love Lazy Summer Days. You know, we could put that one on here. We could flip that one over and use it like that, and then top it with one of the little 2x2s. We've also got our bits and pieces that we've got a ton of options in here. We've got our little 4x6 stickers, which these are actually really cool. And I hadn't really done much with these. I have another project I started a while ago that I haven't finished yet. But it's just all of these little 4x6 stickers. You've got an entire sheet of just words, which would be awesome, where you could put one of your pictures in here and then you could add one of these on top of it. You've got just these little squares that are basically just a 1x1 of these same things. And then we've got, you know, just the different little icons and images and what have you. We've got some little bitty flags, which I think are just amazing. We can use some of those on the pages inside. And then another one with, you know, the scaled down, again, versions of all of these little cards and things. So we've got those to work with as well. So what we're going to do is, let's see, what is on the back side of Hello Sunshine? Stripes. So I don't really think I want to use the stripes that are on the back of this. So we're going to put this one, I think, here on our front. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Let's find one for our back. And I'm really torn because I like both sides of that one. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to look and see where my 8x8 is, or I'm sorry, the 6x8. And again, we have all of those same little images and things that are just scaled to a different size. And you've got more 4x4 cut-aparts in there that have different backings. So really, I just need to decide. And we've got 2 of each of these, which is nice too. And then you've got these, you know, these bigger ones that, you know, really, like something like that, you could frame that and that would just be, you know, a cute little decoration like in your craft room, or, you know, something you set out in the summertime, you know, on a table or something. So really we could, if we wanted to, we can always dig into these as well. But what I think I'm going to do, oh, that's a good one. I like that with those little swimsuits. I think we're going to mat the back of this with these little swimsuits. Oh, yeah, let's do that. Get glue everywhere today. All right. Let's not do that. That would be bad. We're gonna have stuff stuck everywhere. Okay, so we've got that. We're gonna come back and do these other pieces that need, you know, just little 1-inch pieces in a minute. So we're gonna leave those for now. We're gonna work on the inside here. So what I had envisioned for this was just taking something like this, and you're gonna take one of these little, I'm gonna call them like statement cards, and that's what we're going to put on the front of each one of these sections, each different color section. So like that one I know I want there because the green on this page is going to pick up the green that's in that page. So we're going to go ahead and stick that one down right now. All right, so we just need to choose which pieces, and you know, I'm gonna kind of be mindful of what's on the back. Is, you know, what's on the back something that I would have wanted to use, you know, that pattern somewhere else. So that one I think looks great on that pink paper, so we're gonna put that one there. Okay, and then let's see here. So we've got this blue that's really pretty. We've got that summer, and really this one, I think this blue kind of picks up on the blue in the background there. I do like that, but I think we're trying to keep this one a little more light, so I don't necessarily want that darker blue in here. Okay, so we're going to put that down there. And this is something you could do this with any paper collection, any of them. It would just be, it would be really cute, and it would be a really different, I love those little pool people, but I'm not sure where I want them. Actually, I do kind of like them there. I think that's where we're going to put them, because we can use some of our word page or word stickers out of our sticker sheets there on this one. We could use, really, there's all kinds of things we could use on this one. So now I'm going to decide, okay, so we've got one here. We can use these 2 spots just for photo mats, or a couple things we can do here. So what we can do is we can get into our little 2x2, and what we can do is, you know, make kind of a tuck spot here if we wanted to. got a couple of different things we could do with this. So what I think I'm going to do on this particular one is I'm going to use this little swimsuit girl, and I'm going to put her down here in this corner. I'm only going to put glue on this side and this side so that this is open, so you could get a picture back behind here if you wanted to. We're going to put her down over here. Carry with the glue. I need my other one with the smaller tip. But that's okay. We'll be fine. In fact, you know what? Let me grab that one. Okay. So that one's okay there. What we can do here is, see, we've got all these cute little flag pieces. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, we're going to take that little one that says Pool Day, we're going to put it down here, hanging off the edge a little bit. Hold on, let's make sure that's going to fit. That is not going to fit. Okay, need to back it up just a little bit more. Okay, how's that going to fit? That's fine. Okay, so we can put it back in there a little bit further. And on the opposite side, I'm going to line this up, and we're just going to put that on there so you kind of know you have somewhere you can kind of grab onto to pull that little page out. On this side, we're going to go with, oh, I don't know. Let's do these little circles. They're way cute. We're going to do this little green one. We're going to do this one up at the top, I think. We only want a little tiny bit hanging off the edge there. And then we're going to do another one on the other side. And line it up again, and then there's our next little pull spot. Not that they necessarily need one, but you know, it's just a cute thing you can do to add some interest to a project. So this time we're going to do this one about right here, and then we're going to flip it on the other side and do these little flip-flops. Okay, and last one, we're going to do our little circle again, and this time we're going to do a little sunshine. I'm going to put him about right there, and then on the other side we're going to do this one that says hot, hot, hot. All right, so that will be kind of a fun little element there. Okay, so this needs something, so I think what we're going to do is see that little mermaid hair, don't care. I think that's going to be a good one to put back in here. So we're going to do that one right here. Okay. And on this one, actually no, I don't want that one on there. I think we're going to put that one on the back side here. So that's how we're going to go through and do this. So you're going to have one of our little kind of statement pieces here, and then on this back side. So, you know, when you pull out, you're getting, you know, some blank space to put pictures, you know, to do some journaling. You could put another picture here. You could tuck something under there. And then when you fold it over to the next one, you've got something on the back side there as well. So we're going to put this awesome looking little journaling spot on the back side here. Okay, and then for this one, where's that one that I wanted? Ooh, that's actually pretty cute. Oh, I like that there. Let's do that one there. Okay, so we've got that one there. We just need to get the backs of these two. Oh, that one's a fun one. It says, I love lazy summer days. Ooh, this is hard. Where do I want this one? I think there. That's really pretty, but that's okay, because I know I've got another paper somewhere that has that on there that we'll use in the other project. Okay, let's see what is on the back of this one. Okay, so this one obviously is oriented the wrong way for this book. So this is one we could use this, and I think that's exactly what we're gonna do. Let me get my smaller paper trimmer. This is the one we are going to use on for our matting on our spines. Okay. Because that polka dots, that just goes perfectly with that ribbon. So we can put this out here like so. So that's going to go perfectly with that polka dot ribbon. Trim it off and we're all good. Okay, we're going to put the other one on this end. Okay. So we've got those two pieces done, so that's awesome. So what do we want in here? So is this where we're going to use that one? Yep, I think we're going to use that one right there, where it just has that summer on the back, which I love. And I love that these are double-sided, which is really nice. And they're double-sided and they're all different, which is just kind of a fun thing, and that's kind of, you know, what prompted me on this one as far as how I was going to do this. So we can put this piece in here just like that. Okay. All right, so this one we're pretty good to go. Let's see here. We're going to take this little one that says dive in, and we're going to put that up there. In here, we're going to put across the bottom here, we're going to put pool hair, don't care. Okay, so this one, other than that's kind of redundant with the mermaid hair, but that's okay. We need something little on this side. So let's see here. What do we want? Oops. Here we go. Let's do... no, actually I'm going to leave that. I think it's fine just like that. So this side we're going to do this little surfboard down here. I thought I had another sheet. I do. And we're going to put the little sunglasses with it. Okay. For this direction, we're going to go with let's do that one. Okay. All right. Use another little word up here. It says non-stop fun. Those do not want to play nice. I may have to pull those off of there, darn it. So they're fine when it's closed. They're not liking something I'm doing here. Okay, so that one's good. So let's see in here, what do we want? Oh, that's perfect. Or that one. See, this is hard. I think we're going to use that one. Oops. Again, we're only putting glue very thinly on two sides so that will open up. Put that in there. And on the back side here, I think that's where we're gonna do. I think we're gonna put this cute little lemonade sticker right down here. Okay, and then we've got this one, and on this one we're going to do this adorable, the back side of this one that says cool treats has all the little popsicles on it, so we're going to use the back side of this one. And there we go. That one down here like that. Turn this one the other way. And let's see here. Do this one up in this corner this time. Okay. So now we've got something on all of our little pages. We need to mat our pockets. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, I don't know if I want to do that one. I've got beach balls. I've got those cute popsicles again. I've got some florals. And this is what we've got left. So we could actually leave those just like they are. And I think that's exactly what we're going to do, because we've got these bigger stickers that we can actually put like that. Kind of center them up there. And then this one. Put this one on this side. Same thing, we're going to center that up. Okay, so what we can do now is we can either cut a couple little tags out of our cardstock, or we can just take one of our little 3x4 pieces and we're going to stick those in here. Actually, turn that one over. Okay. So then we've still got a couple left that we can use on one of our other projects. We've got some more of these we can use on another project. Oh, other than we still need to do something there and something there. So let's see, what do I have left here? Yep, that's what we're gonna do there. Okay, so that's 1 1/4. Go ahead and cut that at 1 1/4 and 1 1/4. Let's see here. Okay, that will work just fine. There. We're going to do the other one on the other side. And we're not going to get too dimensional with anything on the outside of this, simply because, or this is something that I'm envisioning anyway, that it's going to, you know, be something that you could, I don't know, put in your purse with pictures of your kids or your grandkids and keep with you. You know, you don't want a whole lot of dimension, because then it's just going to get caught on whatever is in your purse. But that being said, I think we might, let me see what I've got here. Hold on. Nope, I'm going to hang on to those. We'll do something else with those. So what we can do here is find one of these, a small one of these. Let's see what we got here. I think we are going to do that. I'll just take this little I Heart Summer. I'm going to stick that on there at an angle, and we're going to call this done. You know, if you wanted to, you could add some more of like the ephemera and that sort of thing. I'm not going to do that. I am just going to tie this up, close that, tie it up. Like I said, bow challenged. My bows always look terrible. I can't help it. I don't know what I could do better. Anyway, but there you have it. Very, very quick, very simple little brag book. Only takes, you know, what did I use total? Maybe 4 sheets of paper total. A lot of this you could do with scraps as far as matting. You know, if you've got 4x4 cut aparts that you're not sure what to do with, this would be a good project for them. But actually, I'm going to add that there. Let's see what else I've got on here. One more of these on here. Get that down underneath there, just to kind of balance that out a little bit more. But there you have it. Super simple, super fast little brag book. Thanks for watching.